to Inclusive and Talk. Hello everyone, I am Dewi Nurholis and today we will talk about fascinating topic which is related to culturally responsive teaching. And then we will also relate this topic to culturally relevant pedagogy.
Okay.
And then we will also talk about it, how it implement in English language teaching and learning. And then actually we will talk about many things here, and such as the difference, the impact, and so on. So certainly here I am not alone, as you can see. Here I have my friend and
Hi everyone, I am Ermalati Putri. Nice to meet you all.
alright, nice to meet you too, Irma. Alright, so now let's get into the topic. Both culturally relevant pedagogy and culturally responsive teaching are proposed by Gloria Ledson-Billing. So that's the founder of this term. And then let's start by exploring culturally relevant pedagogy. Now Emma, could you please explain what is the meaning of culturally relevant pedagogy to our listeners?
Alright, so Dewi, culturally relevant pedagogy is an approach that recognizes and incorporates students' cultural backgrounds into the learning process. It goes beyond simply acknowledging diversity and aims to make the curriculum and teaching methods directly relevant to the experiences and perspectives of the students.
Wow, that's I think that's very important.
Yeah.
And then now I have another question. How does it differ from traditional pedagogy?
For the traditional pedagogy, it often follows the one-size-fits-all model, right? Assuming a universal experience for all students. In contrast, CRP or culturally responsive pedagogy acknowledges and values the uniqueness of each student, adapting teaching methods to connect with their cultural backgrounds and make the learning more engaging and meaningful. And now let me ask you two, moving on to the culturally responsive teaching, what sets CRT apart from CRP?
Alright, well, so while CRT focuses on the content and curriculum, CRT emphasizes the teacher-student relationship. So it's about creating a responsive and inclusive classroom environment where educators actively listen, understand, and adapt their teaching methods to meet the diverse needs of their students.
Oh, how does this play out in the practical terms?
Well, culturally responsive teaching involves incorporating students' cultural backgrounds into the learning process, but it places a strong emphasis on creating a supportive and respectful classroom community. So it involves building trust, fostering open communication, and adapting teaching strategies based on students' individual strengths and needs. Now, looking at these two definitions, in your opinion, what is the most significant difference of CRT and CRP?
Alright, so as you have also mentioned before that CRP is about making the content and the curriculum culturally relevant, right? And CRT is about creating an inclusive and responsive teaching environment that takes into account the unique needs of each student. So both approaches, however, share the overarching goal of promoting inclusivity and recognizing the diversity of students in educational settings.
Alright, thank you very much for your explanation, Irma. Now let's focus more into the CRT now, right? Culturally responsive teaching. So what does culturally responsive teaching mean in the context of English language teaching and learning?
Culturally responsive teaching in English language education involves recognizing and valuing the diverse cultural backgrounds of each student. It means creating an environment where the language learning is not detached from students' cultural identities only, but it's instead integrated into it.
Well, that sounds crucial. Now, how does this approach impact to the classroom experience for both teachers and students?
For teachers, it means being aware of their students' cultural background and incorporating diverse perspectives into the curriculum. That's for teacher, okay? But if it is about making the content, it should be relatable, using materials that reflect the students' realities, acknowledging the richness of that culture diversity brings to the classroom.
And for the students?
Meanwhile, for the students, it's about feeling seen and valued. It's about having the confidence to express themselves in English while still maintaining a connection to their cultural identity. Cultural responsive teaching also fosters an inclusive environment where students feel that their backgrounds are not only acknowledged but also embraced. Dewi, now can you share an example how a teacher might implement a culturally responsive teaching in English language classroom to the listeners?
Well, certainly. Let's consider literature. So instead of solely focusing on Western literary works, a culturally responsive teacher might include text from various cultures. So this not only broadens the students' understanding of literature, but also allows them to see themselves in the material, making the learning experience more engaging and relevant. For example, if we look at our culture, when the students at school studying about narrative text, so the text maybe include Indonesian culture. Can you give example from?
I do agree with that. So I saw some sources about the text, especially narrative text related to the culture, like from our province, South Sumatra. They learn about the island, the Kumaro Island, and etc.
Well, now this is also the question for you, Irma. What challenges might teachers face when implementing culturally responsive teaching in English language education?
It's interesting. One challenge is finding resources, as what we discussed before, right? That represent a wide range of cultures. It requires effort and creativity to source or adapt the materials that are inclusive. And also for teachers, they may face resistance or lack of awareness about the importance of culturally responsive teaching.
True. So overcoming those challenges is crucial, right?
Alright, as we wrap up, what advice do you have for teachers who want to embrace culturally responsive teaching in their English language classroom?
Well, my advice will be start from a small steps. So take the time to learn your students. So the teacher can look at the students' culture and students' backgrounds, and then integrate diverse materials gradually. So of course it's not an instant thing to do, and seek professional development opportunities. So creating a culturally responsive classroom is an ongoing process.
Yeah, it's process.
Yeah, and the key is to remain open, flexible, and committed to fostering an inclusive learning environment.
Okay, fantastic advice to our listeners. Thank you for listening our topic today. We'll back with more insightful discussion on education. Then keep learning and embracing the diversity around you. Goodbye.
Bye.